Today on the Fresh Brew Run Club, the Detroit Free Press Marathon is back. Here's what you need to know. Welcome back to the Fresh Brew Run Club. So today is a little bit of current events coverage in the running world. So the Detroit Free Press Marathon is going to have in-person participation. So last year, obviously due to COVID, it was completely virtual. This year, they're announcing that they are actually going to have the race in real life. So it's still up in the air whether the race is going to be truly international or it's just going to take place in Detroit, but that is TBD. But as things have opened up, especially in Michigan, it appears as if the race is actually going to be on. You can go to the Detroit Free Press Marathon website, which I will link below. This isn't a paid ad, by the way, but I will link that below, and you can sign up now for the marathon. But it's very exciting news. It has been a long year and a half, really, at this point since COVID started. A ton of races were either canceled or they went virtual, which, I mean, the virtual stuff was necessary, but for me, I want to hear the roar of the crowd, people cheering you on, the signs, the cowbells, the costumes, all the stuff you see at a normal race. So I'm excited to get back to that. Now, if you're thinking of signing up for the Detroit Marathon, if you're in the Detroit area, if you're in the United States, I highly recommend it. Now, of course, the race is much better if it is international. It's one of the few races that is actually an international race. So you run in Canada and the United States, which is really cool. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully the border opens up and you can cross into Canada. I'd be optimistic that it would, but we'll see. But the race itself on a normal year, I highly recommend running it. It's just a really good race. I like a race that takes place downtown, which is where the Detroit Marathon starts. So I'm just going to assume that the race is going to actually be international. So you start downtown Detroit, then you cross the Ambassador Bridge. As the sun is rising, you're up in the air above the Detroit River. You can look back and see the Detroit skyline. You can see the Windsor skyline. It's one of the best views you're ever going to get, and it's virtually impossible to get on a normal, honestly. All right, my cat, I'm going to save this video, is completely out of control. Good grief, Betty. Get down. Oh my goodness, you're gonna hurt yourself. So the view itself is incredible, and you can't get this view anywhere else. You can't walk across the Ambassador Bridge on a normal day. So this is the only way you're gonna see this view. You cross into Canada. It's probably one of the few, if only, places where you can actually cross the border to and from the United States legally without getting stopped. You're supposed to bring your passport or enhanced ID. Obviously, if you do happen to get stopped, there's security everywhere, but you don't technically really have to stop unless they tell you to, so you can just run through the border. Kind of a cool thing to experience. So then you go into Canada, you're in Windsor, you get a really unique view of the Detroit skyline. We don't get to see it from this side, mostly from the Windsor side. They have a beautiful riverfront area, so you run along the river, you go back into downtown Windsor. One of the coolest things about Windsor is the people. Some of the nicest people you will ever run by. Some very funny, nice signs that people are holding, just that Canadian hospitality that you really experience as you run downtown Windsor. So great place to run. Then you go back under the tunnel, under the Detroit River, which is kind of boring in itself, but just also a cool experience. You get to cross an international border in a tunnel underneath a river as part of a marathon. So that's really cool. Then you go back downtown, you run through downtown, then you go into an area called Indian Village, which is one of my favorite places to run. It's an awesome neighborhood. All the people that live there come out, they set up tables, they're cheering, people are handing out Dixie cups of beer. It's just almost like a party atmosphere there. So then you go through Indian Village, you go on Belle Isle, which it is around the 20-mile mark, so that's when a lot of people, kind of they hit the wall, so it can be a challenging part. I hit the wall twice, both times I've run there, kind of fallen apart on Belle Isle. But it is a cool place to run. It's an island in the middle of the Detroit River. You run over a bridge, over and back. So just kind of really nice scenery. You feel like you're kind of out on the water. And then you loop back and head back downtown, and that's where the crowds are. That's where all the people are. You hear the roar of the crowd as you come up on the finish line, and there's just people everywhere. It's an awesome, awesome experience as you cross the finish line. So if you're thinking of running the Detroit Marathon, even if it is the US only version, I highly recommend it. If the race does cross into Canada, I mean, it's a can't miss event. It's definitely a bucket list run. I think they have a 10K and a 5K. I can double double check that. But a lot of options, just a really cool place to run. So I'm very excited that in-person running is finally back. It's just good to see this kind of news. We've been waiting for some good news in the running world for us average runners who aren't, trying to qualify for the Olympics. So good news there. Again, I have the link to register for the Detroit Free Press Marathon in the description below. So be sure to check that out. Thanks for watching today. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that. I'm running my last 5K of the spring season coming up this weekend. I'm not in great shape. I had some, pretty bad food poisoning the other day, so I took a decent amount of time off. But hey, I'm just going to go out there, give it my best. That's what we do at the Fresh Brew Run Club. We don't get too hung up on times. We're just out there having a good time. So subscribe so you don't miss that video. But thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.